Hello everyone, welcome to Paragraph Writing. For this video, we are going to focus on the language focus. Okay, it is something that is important other than organization of the writing. Okay, um, sometimes we focus too much on the organization of the writing, and we do not really care about what is it, the sentences written there. Actually, it is wrong. Okay, in order to create a good paragraph, besides having a good organization, you must also have a very good sentences. So we are going to focus on subject verb agreement first. Okay, actually, this is a basic thing. Between verb and sentence, it is a very important thing that must be uh, there in the sentence. Okay, because every sentence in English has a verb. Okay, and then if there is no verb, we have to make sure that there is a verb in the sentence. Okay, after you got verb there, you must be sure that the sentence have subject verb agreement. Okay, in English, subject and the verb must agree in number. If we use singular noun, then the verb must be singular. My sister, singular, is married. But if we use plural, then we have to use plural verb. My sisters are. If there are two persons, my brother and my sister, again we have to use plural form. There are several rules in subject verb agreement that you have to pay attention to. Let's discuss one by one. Rule number one: when the subject of a sentence is composed by two or more subjects and it is connected by a conjunction, then use plural verb. For example, here, she and her friends are at the fair. Okay, here we have she and her friends. And then the two is connected with the conjunction and. Okay, since it is more than one person, we have to use plural form. Okay, so it becomes she and her friends are at the fair. Rule number two: when a compound subject contains both singular and plural noun or pronoun joined by or nor, the verb should agree with the part of the subject that is nearer with the verb. Okay, here we have the boy or his friends run every day. Okay, here we have the boy and his friends. Okay, the boy or his friends. The one that is closest to the verb is the word his friends. Okay, so his friends is considered plural, then we have to use plural form for the verb. Second example, his friends or the boy runs every day. Okay, the one that is closest to the verb run is the word the boy. The boy is singular, then the verb should be singular too. So it becomes runs. Okay, so the sentence is his friends or the boy runs every day. Rules number three, okay, this is the most important thing, is don't be misled by a phrase that comes between the subject and the verb. Okay, sometimes we found sentences that is added additional information like this. One of the boxes is open. Of the boxes is prepositional phrase that gives more information to the word one. Okay, and since we got one and we got boxes here, so the misleading part is the boxes. So rather than, because boxes here is plural, then we use plural form. Actually, it is wrong. Okay, we have to focus on the main part, that is one is open. Okay, the people who listen to that music are few. Who listen to that music is additional information. So the main focus is the people are few. Okay, so the people is plural, then we have to use are. Okay, don't give attention to the word music here. Why? Because it can be a distraction. Okay, in order to focus, you can close this part. Okay, you can close this part so that if you focus on the people are few. Okay, the women with all the dogs. Okay, okay, if you pay attention, you got women and dogs here. Women is singular, dogs is plural. Okay, but remember, the main focus here is the women. Okay, not the dogs. So the woman with all the dogs. Okay, the woman walks down my street. Okay, then the subject, the main subject, and the verb, okay, is in agreement. Rule number 4. Words with each one, either, neither, everybody, anyone, nobody, someone, and no one are considered singular. Okay? So, it requires singular verbs. Okay. Here we got example. Everybody knows Mr. Jones. Okay, everybody knows Mr. John. Everybody is singular, then we have to add s. Each of these hot dogs, okay, remember, of these hot dogs is additional information. The main focus is the word each. Each is considered singular. Each is juicy. Each of these hot dogs is juicy. Rules number 5. Pay attention to some nouns like civic, mathematics, news, or dollars. Okay, these nouns are considered singular, so they require singular verb. The news is on at 6. Okay, even though the word news with s, but it's actually singular. $5. Okay, don't get distracted with the word 5. Remember, all money is considered singular. Okay, no matter the amount. So $5 is a lot of money. You also need to pay attention to nouns that has two things in it. Okay, such as scissors, tweezers, trousers, or shears. Okay, since there are two things in the object, they require plural verb. These scissors are dull. Those trousers are made of wool. So remember, even though the object is one, but since there are two things in it, then we have to use plural verbs. Rules number 7. In the beginning, in the sentence beginning with there is and there are, okay, so you have to go with the what is it? The nouns after the there is and there are. Okay, if many questions plural, then you have to use are. But if you use a question singular, then you use there is. The last rule is collective noun. Collective noun is actually a noun that consists of imply of more than one person, but they are considered as a group. Okay, so they are considered singular. They do things together. So, for example, like the word group, team, committee, class, or family. Okay, these are considered singular. The teams run during practice. The family has long story. Okay, considered as one. One family considered as one team. Okay, then they are considered singular. Next one is about sentence fragment and comma splices. Okay, it happens a lot, and those are actually things that we have to avoid later on when we write in a paragraph. What is sentence fragment? Sentence fragment is actually incomplete sentence. So we write only part of the sentence. In fact, sentence must be complete. There must be one independent clause. It is impossible if we just have part of it. Okay, look at the examples. Last summer I went to Italy. Oh, stop. Was wonderful. What was wonderful? Okay, here we have only half of it. There is no subject. Okay, so what can we do to correct this? Add subject to this part. So it becomes, last summer I went to Italy. It was a wonderful trip. I want to go again if I can. Second example, George Washington was president for 8 years. Many people wanted him to continue as president. A difficult decision for Washington. This is only a phrase. Okay? So what can we do? We need to add subject and a verb. So it becomes, this was a difficult decision for Washington. Okay? So we have to make the sentence complete. Example number 4. Because some students work part-time while taking full load of courses, stop. It is not complete sentence. Why? Because there is only one dependent clause. A dependent clause cannot be a sentence. Why? Because it is dependent. So, to make it into a sentence, we have to add an independent clause like this. So, the correction, because some students work part-time while taking a full load of courses, they have very little free time. Okay, so if there is only one dependent clause, you have to add an independent clause to make it into a sentence. Another example of sentence fragment is like this. Okay, for example, the increase in the cost of renting an apartment. Okay, we tend to say this, okay, and it is okay in spoken form. Why? Because it is clear what is meant, okay, in spoken form, but not in written form. Okay, not in written form. Okay, because written form and spoken, that a formal one should have complete sentence. Okay, so here there is no verb. What can you do? Add. You have to add a verb. For example, the cost of renting an apartment increased. So we add verb, increased. Then the sentence is complete. So once again, you have to check your writing and focus on the sentence fragment. If you find subordinating conjunctions like although, since, because, if, before, etc., we have to make sure that every subordinate clause is attached to an independent clause. Then we can make it complete. A sentence cannot consist of only a phrase or only one dependent clause. You have to make it complete by adding a verb and a subject. Another problem that happens a lot in the writing is comma splices. What is comma splice? Comma splice is when two or more sentences or clauses connected with a comma. Remember, you have to separate sentences with a period or a full stop, not with a comma. So, to correct the comma splice is by separating the clauses, okay, we end the first one, the first sentence or the first clause with the period. Make it a sentence. Okay, and then you start the second one with a capital letter, so it becomes a new sentence. Another option is that to add a connecting word such as and, but, or. You can use the coordinative conjunction to combine the two clauses or sentences. This is the example of comma splices. Last summer I went to Italy. It was a wonderful trip. I want to go again if I can. Okay. Last summer I went to Italy. Okay. It is comma, and then we start again. It was a wonderful trip. Again with a comma. We cannot separate sentences with a comma. Then we can have two options of correcting the sentence by saying last summer, comma, I went to Italy, full stop. It was a wonderful trip, full stop again. Or we combine it into one sentence. My trip to Italy last summer was wonderful. Okay, so this sentence of this part is combined into one sentence. Another example is American high school students can choose to study a foreign language, comma. French is very popular, comma. Most students choose Spanish. Okay, so we separate the ideas by using comma. We have to correct this by separate those parts, okay, into sentences. It becomes American high school students can choose to study foreign language, full stop. So it becomes the main idea. French is very popular, comma, but most students chose Spanish. So this is the detailed information. Okay, so in that case, the sentence can be better. The idea is clearer because we separate the sentences by using full stop. Thank you for the attention.